Good morning, everybody. June 30th, 2021, 8:48 a.m., and the National Hurricane Center has put a lot more emphasis on the probability of Hurricane ELSA forming out in the deep Caribbean. We could see this right here on Tropical Tidbits. Not only is it super rare to have a storm coming from this direction with this much probability, but as you can see on your screen, back in 2005, take a look at this date. Between July 4th and July 18th, we had a very known hurricane called Hurricane Dennis, which reached Category 4 wind speeds, 150 mile an hour sustained winds, and as of the posting of this video, has almost the same exact track, as well as some other crazy similarities as to 2005. Multiple models showing this becoming a tropical storm within a 12-hour period. We'll see if that comes true or not. And in the long run, some of this have this pushed up to a Category 2. Not only that, but take a look at Invest 95L's prediction chart. Some models even have this storm continuing to upgrade to a Category 1. We may have two separate storms going on in the Caribbean at the same time. I actually think my head might explode if that happens. And really quick, before we continue on, I just want to take a second and thank you all so much for the amount of support you're showing for the channel. I know you guys enjoy the consistency in the reporting, as do I, and I just want you to know that it means the world to me. And if you have not already, if you enjoy this content, please click that bell, subscribe, and please don't forget, guys, we have the Into Thin Air Twitter channel where you can come interact, send in pictures or videos that can be featured in future videos. Come give us a follow here as well, and thank you so much. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to continue on here. First, we're going to talk about something a little different before we finish with these storms. It's very important, and yes, we're going to use the USGS to figure this out because it's something that popped into my head this morning as I was checking my charts, and I noticed this earthquake here in Cuba, and I said to myself, you know, that part of Cuba doesn't really get a lot of earthquakes, and it's true, it doesn't. When you move over towards the Dominican Republic and Haiti, that's a different story. We get many earthquakes in this area and some pretty big ones. Now, with the entire situation that went on at Miami and Surfside with the building collapse, I've been looking for historical seismic events that may give us a little more information on exactly what's going on in Florida or things leading up to this situation, and I found some interesting stuff. So, do you guys remember this major earthquake that took place last year, January 28th of 2020, in between Cuba and Jamaica? Now, this is key, and I'm going to show you why. I want you to pay close attention to the words they use here.
Major earthquake hits off the coast of Jamaica around 2 this afternoon.
Our Lauren St. Germain joining us now in studio. Lauren, people reported feeling this all the way in South Florida.
That's exactly right. So this video is from Miami around 3:30 this afternoon.
Okay, so very interesting information, and what am I getting at here? So 17 months ago, we had a major earthquake, obviously 7.7 between Jamaica and Cuba, as you can see right here. And it was so strong that it caused building evacuations. Nothing super serious, no damage reported in South Florida, more specifically Miami, which is exactly where Surfside is. And because of it, they had building inspections done in Miami to make sure things were okay. So taking all this information together, looking at this earthquake now in a pretty rare spot of Cuba. Cuba does get earthquakes, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about this specific spot here. And then to look at the area in which the 7.7 quake happened 17 months ago, it's very possible that this quake right here is an aftershock, even after all this time, of a 7.7. We've seen it in other parts of the world, and just hearing that connection, that the shaking was felt, and pictures swaying and lights moving in areas of Miami, resulting in some building inspections. I don't know if the Surfside building was part of any of these evacuations in South Florida because of that 7.7 quake, but nonetheless, the fact that people in South Florida felt it, it means that South Florida moved, which means that this could be yet another factor that played a part in this situation. I've now switched over to that earthquake from last year. In the historical data of the USGS, you can see right here 7.7, 14.9 kilometers in depth. Very shallow for this size quake. That's why it was felt so far away. And in fact, with an earthquake of this size, Miami isn't even that far away from this. So again, I just want to be clear that while researching this morning and seeing that quake from today, and then remembering the 7.7, I'm just making the connection that we did have an event take place in South Florida that caused evacuation evacuations, whether mandatory or not, it still took place and it's still noteworthy. I'm going to continue to dig into this seismic activity deal as far as Florida goes and the possibility of sinkholes. A lot of times these situations come and go in people's minds and they forget about them. A 7.7 earthquake near Cuba is no small thing. And it's only been 17 months since it happened and could very well have played a part in the weakening of building structures. But speaking of Miami and Cuba and all that stuff, we got to finish off talking about these storms and the potential of them. You're looking at Tropical Tidbits once again and the potential of Invest 97L, you can see here, which is behind 95L, which is about to hit the Lesser Antilles Leeward Islands as a small low pressure system. It's certainly going to be an interesting forecast because, as you can clearly see, our 97L disturbance, the 80% chance of cyclone formation, is the storm expected to possibly or potentially become a hurricane and then clip Cuba. If you guys remember, we had a situation with Hurricane Irma back in 2017. That was a huge threat to Florida, but then hit Cuba, weakening it and making it less of a brunt impact. And I only say that because the tracks seem very similar. Just as it does to this hurricane back in 2005 in the same exact week we are leading into. July 4th through July 18th, this was Hurricane Dennis in 2005, reaching nearly Category 5 wind speeds, 150 mile an hour sustained winds. And as you can see right here, just like Hurricane Irma clipped Cuba and then went towards the west coast of Florida, Irma actually hitting Naples, this one not, but you get the idea of the track we are looking at here. And please remember, no matter how much changes every single day, every hour, I'll still be here to give you all the updates you need. I know this stuff can get very confusing and very hyped up, and when you see multiple invests like this on a chart, it's easy to get confused and it's easy to think that something's happening when it's really not, or something's not happening when it really is. Thank you guys all so much for the support and watching this channel. As always, I will be back later on or tomorrow morning, one or the other, depending on which has the most important news I need to bring to you. Shout out to Canada. Stay cool, everybody. Northeast, one more day, the hot weather, and then we have a little bit of a break. All right, my friends, have a great day. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.